been asked most times in the last 20 years is, how are you still alive? And I give a strange answer, or it appears to be a strange answer, which is the manipulators don't kill me because they can't. What? Dave, more, please. What are you talking about? I've known this for 20 years, intuitively, that that can't happen. I remember Credo Mutwa about 2006 time, end of 2006, I was with him in South Africa, and he threw the bones, which is like the South African version of throwing the runestones or the tarot cards. And he's very, very good. And he said to me, Mr. David, there's a contract on your life. He said, they're trying to kill you. He said, but they can't. And I'm thinking, I know they can't, but I don't know why they can't at that time. You know when you know something, but you can't work out how it can be true, but you know it is true. And what's kind of happened in the last few years, the most important part of my life and my work is delving deeper and deeper and deeper into the understanding of the nature of reality, what this reality is we're experiencing. And what I concluded and continue to conclude even more deeply, because it's an ongoing journey, is that this reality we think is physical and out there is actually the equivalent of a movie screen. It's the done deal level of our experience. When it manifests here, it's like the pictures in a movie theater hitting the screen. You ain't going to change them there. Because if you want to change the movie, you change what the projector is projecting, then you change the movie on the screen. And if we relate that to the world that we're experiencing, it's all right, Sean's got a cough. You all right, mate? Mm-hmm. Ignore Sean. Thank you. He, oh God, it's a bad cough. Get yourself a drink, mate. If you relate that to what I'm saying about the nature of reality, the base construct of this reality is vibrational information, waveform information. It's what we call, what I call anyway, and a friend of mine in South Africa calls the metaphysical universe, as opposed to the physical universe or holographic universe as it is. And so that's the prime reality. And what we do is we tune into that vibrational reality through the five senses. I mean, the ear is the classic. It vibrates sound. It turns the sound into electrical signals, sends it to the brain decodes that into sound. We hear when the sound, when the brain decodes it. We taste when the brain decodes it. And it's all vibrational information, initially becoming electrical information, then digital and holographic information, which is what we call this world, which exists not out there, but in here, like the internet. The World Wide Web exists within the computer and on the screen of the computer, not outside of it. And therefore, the information that we decode from the metaphysical, from the vibrational information construct into the holographic, decides what we experience in this reality. The done deal, the screen. And I was on the Alex Jones show recently, and Alex, as part of a question and a statement, reeled off all these different aspects of the conspiracy, the control system, across everything from food to right across to banking, right across to wars, all these different things. You know, and you know, I said that, you know, do we think that that great mass of different aspects of this conspiracy that's unfolding, that all interrelate to each other and are all time connected? You're right, mate, you got a drink? Yeah. All time connected to interact and connect with each other.
It's like a domino.
Yeah, are we really saying that is orchestrated by men in dark suits sitting around a table deciding their next move. No. So how is it done? And I would suggest it's done like this, because we're dealing, this is a really important area for people to appreciate how things are not like we think they are. And that's to understand that the cutting edge in the public arena of scientific knowledge and the knowledge of reality and physics is not the cutting edge. It's the cutting edge within our human society that we perceive. It's not the cutting edge in the underground projects, and it's certainly not the cutting edge beyond them when you meet the force that is actually ultimately behind the conspiracy on the underground projects. They understand what I'm saying here is the way that reality works. Its basis is a vibrational information construct, like the World Wide Web. Now, what they do is they download, program, whatever you want to call it, infuse the information blueprint of the global conspiracy into the waveform vibrational level, and then humans who are of a certain vibrational state that connects with that information then decode that information out into the holographic reality. They don't know they're doing that. Few at the core do. Most people don't. But government administrators and the new breed of policemen, you know, the military policemen that they've become, and all these aspects of the control system that impose the will of the few on the many while not consciously knowing that the few even exist, they are actually computer terminals, in effect, that are playing out this information into the holographic world. And that's why it is so coordinated. Because what is happening here is a reflection of this information blueprint, and therefore it becomes an amazingly synchronistic, coordinated, interconnected expansion and expression and unfolding of the control system, because it's the holographic version of this. All the people that are playing it out are vehicles to decode that and turn it from vibrational information into holographic reality. They're conduits. And when we talk about people being automatons, that's what they are. They don't have to be. And when you open your consciousness, open your mind to consciousness, your vibrational state quickens, and you don't tune into this level of the crap in the metaphysical universe anymore. So you don't play it out. More than that, because you're not in it, playing it out by decoding it, you can see it. It's bloody obvious. Those people who are decoding it, they can't see it because they are it. Am I making sense? And so this vibrational level of reality is where everything's going to change. This is going to reflect the change. And we're going to say, there's a great transformation going on in the world. Yes, there is. On the screen. But where the transformation is coming from is a transformation of this, two things. A transformation of this vibrational construct, the blueprint fabric of this reality, and a change in the vibrational state of the conscious level of reality, so that it no longer tunes into that information, but tunes into that information and brings that into holographic reality. And we will experience that, we are experiencing that, as the world changing. But where it's changing from is what I call the metaphysical universe in the information construct. Now, people are going to say, this was a question about how you not been assassinated. I'm getting there. That is the preamble background of what I'm saying. So, if I am going to be assassinated in the holographic reality that we're experiencing now. I have to decode that out of the information construct. They put in Icke assassinated into the information construct. But if I don't decode that out into the holographic reality, it can't manifest. And then that's why you got Creator Mutual saying, Mr. David, they're trying to kill you, but they can't. Because I will not decode that into this reality. And I feel it's beyond me not or refusing to decode it, although that adds to its power, of course. There is some force, the force that made itself known to me 20 years ago through that psychic initially, that is blocking the ability of that information, that situation coming through me into the holographic world so someone goes bang bang. It's not possible. I've known for 20 years that they couldn't kill me. Now I'm beginning to understand why they can't kill me. I'll leave this world when I arranged to leave it before I came here. And anyone can do that. It's just a case of taking your power back and realizing both where the power lies and also how this process works. Because it was interesting. Before I began to understand any of this, I used to, comment from time to time about my experiences in America. I first went there in 1993 to talk at an animal rights conference. But the first time I went there to talk about this whole information was in 1996. And I went there, and I was supposed to have had a series of talks lined up all over America for 3 months. I paid my own flight in there and everything. And I got there, and nothing had been arranged. I had one thing arranged, two things arranged. One was an event in Denver, Colorado, which I'd arranged myself. It was a conference. And another one was an event for me in Vancouver, Canada, which a great guy called Joseph Duggan put on. But between that and after that were like weeks when I was supposed to have been going from here, there, everywhere talking, and nothing had been arranged. So I went around America that time with a friend of mine arranging talks on the hoof so that a talk would be arranged in, say, Tucson, Arizona, and 7 days later I'd be doing it. I mean, you've got no run-up time, and I was surprised by, here and there how many people came, but most of the time I was talking to myself. And I went to Chicago and talked to 8 people. I remember it was a really great night. And I said, I could have phoned you or written to you, and it would save me the bloody airfare. But where I'm going with this in terms of this question was that in that period, I came across many whistleblowers, as they say, and there was a common theme, and that was that they were wearing their abuse by the state and their intimidation by the state as like a war medal. It was almost like to add to their credibility. They were saying, I don't know how long people will be allowing me to say this before they stop me, before they get me, before this and this business, Or I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay alive saying this stuff. And I used to sit down, even in those days, 96, I used to think, you want to be very bloody careful here, lads, because you're going to create a self-fulfilling prophecy if you're not careful. And I was speaking in New England, and, I was so well known and popular in those days that this event took place in someone's house. That's how big the audience was. I did it in somebody's front room in New England. Very kind of them, but it just shows you how far it's come. Anyway, I stayed at this person's house, and they went out during the day. And there was all these videos and stuff. And I put the video in. And there was this guy saying some very, very interesting things about his experiences on the inside. But he kept saying, I don't know how long they're going to let me continue to say this. And I thought, well, God, I wouldn't say that too often. I mean, literally the guy came back just after I'd finished watching it. And I said, hey, it's very interesting, that guy. I said, well, what's happened to him now? What's he doing? Oh, no, he's been dead. He's assassinated by the government, right? And I'm thinking, do you know, I'm not surprised. And you see, what is happening here in terms of what I'm talking about is that if you accept that the authorities can kill you, and if even more than that, you're using the fact that they can and probably will as like part of your persona. I'm taking on the state, but I don't know how long before they kill me. What does that mean? You're not taking on the state at all. You're telling me how powerful the state is. And because of that, they vibrationally connect in with these blueprints in the vibrational level of the universe. Like, we're going to take this guy out. And they play it through, and through them manifest it holographically. Bang, bang. And I would say to people, you know, it's not a war medal to say the state's after you. Or certainly not a war medal to say, I accept the state's going to take me out at some time because I'm saying this. Like, look how brave I am.
It's playing with fire.
You're creating a reality. You're telling the people the state has power over you. I do not accept that. I do not accept that the state has power over me. Because I do not have the perception that the state has power over me. Therefore, it cannot have power over me. It could cause me hassle here and there, okay, but we'll sort it. We'll sort it, whatever is thrown. And it's another example of where the real power lies in our lives. Not out there. There is no out there. It's in here.
Yeah. It's giving something energy, isn't it? And it's...
Yes, if you allow into your psyche the possibility that something will happen, you're allowing a much greater chance of it happening than if you just block that process of decoding. So it's always vibrating here, but it's never taking place here.